watching AYV Television.
From our broadcasting house here on Wesley Street in Sierra Leone's capital, Freetown, this is Primetime News on AYV TV and radio. You're watching us on Channel 33 and listening to us on frequency modulation 101.7. I am Hannah Yankson. Let's start with tonight's headlines. Zab Sharif has been sentenced to 4 years in prison by Magistrate Mustafa Brahima, having found guilty of incitement and threatening language. Government of Sierra Leone officially proclaims plans to revive Sierratel with maladministrative issues. And we will hear more on the International Moral Guarantors meeting with the leadership of the All People's Congress Party at their headquarters in Freetown. Hello and welcome from wherever you're joining me tonight. I am Anna Yankson. First in the news. President Biyo has today received letters of credence from 5 newly appointed ambassadors, designate, and 1 high commissioner. Key among the ambassadors are the Iranians, Mexicans, Saudi Arabian, Pakistani, and Russian ambassadors. President Biyo stressed the importance of strengthening the ties among nations for mutual benefit. Here's the highlights.
The presentation of letters of credence marks a significant diplomatic process, formally recognizing the envoys as representatives of their respective countries to Sierra Leone. Among those accredited are ambassadors from Saudi Arabia, Iran, Russia, Pakistan, and Mexico. A key highlight of the ceremony was a formal presentation of credentials by the Russian ambassador, following the reopening of the Embassy of Russia in Sierra Leone. Russia officially resumed diplomatic presence in Sierra Leone in December 2024, after more than 3 decades, strengthening bilateral relations between the two countries.
It is my profound honor to present to you, after a long of 32 years, the first resident ambassador designate of the Russian Federation to Freetown, Sierra Leone.
Your Excellency, I have the honor to present the letter of recall of my predecessor, Mr. Alexei Popov, and the letter of credence accrediting me as the ambassador of the Russian Federation to the Republic of Sierra Leone.
Your Excellency, it is my distinct honor to present to you His Excellency, Ambassador of the Russian Federation, His Excellency Andrei Staryarov, Your Excellency.
Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you.
The ceremony underscores Sierra Leone's growing diplomatic engagement and commitment to fostering international cooperation across multiple regions, including the Middle East, Asia, Europe, and the American. The government says these diplomatic developments are expected to boost trade, investment, and bilateral partnership in key sectors. Mohamed Bakar Kamara, AYV News.
Still on international affairs, the Mano River Union has held a strategic meeting to map out a blueprint or sense of direction on activities within the sub-region. Part of the meeting is to initiate and implement statutory of the Union among the MRU countries. Let's hear more from the Secretary General of the Mano River Union.
This is a statutory meeting of the Mano River Union. Normally, we have the organs of the Mano River Union, the summit of heads of state and government, the Ministerial Council, the Technical Commission, and the leadership of the Secretariat. The Technical Commissions provide guidance and direction on activities of the Union. And one of them is the Commission on Finance and Administration. This particular commission reviews the financial activities of the Secretariat, taking into consideration the resources that are provided and how the resources are utilized to meet the objectives of the Union. At the same time, review administrative issues, structure, governance, and the operations of the Secretariat, and see whether there are gaps in terms of ensuring the effective and efficient operation of the Secretariat.
Ahead of the 2028 general elections in Sierra Leone, Campaign for Human Rights and Development International, with support from its partners, has engaged in traditional and religious leaders on electoral justice, the importance of peaceful participation, and the role of community stakeholders in fostering social accountability. Our reporter, Issa Bangura, has more.
Traditional and religious leaders from across communities in Freetown gathered at the John James Hall in Upgon to deliberate on their critical role in ensuring credible and peaceful elections in 2028. Organized by Campaign for Human Rights and Development International, the engagement aimed at strengthening collaboration between community leaders and civil society in promoting electoral justice and accountability.
They have an important role to play. The politicians from each political party belongs to either a Muslim Jamaat or a church, and they do go to church or mosque for prayer, and they require blessings from either church or the mosque. And so if we are engaging their leaders and we want their leaders to speak truth to them and to tell them the truth, nothing but the truth, with that, we'll be able to have a peaceful country, and we'll be able to have a cohesion in our community. So that's the essence. They are important, and they will remain important in our community. They are our primary moral guarantors.
Discussions centered on the need for peaceful participation before, during, and after elections, as well as the responsibility of leaders to guide their community towards non-violence and respect for democratic processes. Participants say,
well, from the discussions, we have been able to see our point because people told us what is our point. As religious leaders, we have been misplacing our roles. And now I think we need to go and know that we have to talk to our church people, that we need to uphold integrity as religious leaders. And God is expecting us to represent Him well. So that I think if we have integrity, we will not be bought. But there's a quote who says the world is not in need of people who know too much education, but the world is in need of people who cannot be bought easily, who stands for truth. So these are the kind of things I think we as religious leaders should actually emulate and help our congregation to know that we need to have integrity and stand for the value that God expects them to.
It's a very good initiative.
This is a laudable and meaningful initiative because, as leaders, we must ensure people understand the importance of peace and unity. Elections should not divide us, but rather strengthen our democracy. Our voices carry influence, and our actions can help prevent conflict. The government must also raise public awareness about the rules and regulations governing the upcoming elections, while parliamentarians should act with integrity in fulfilling their mandate. This, in turn, makes our work easier.
So for know what is the right and what is the responsibility. So if they do this, they will help me, they will just collect them. Because if the people they understand.
Campaign for Human Rights and Development International emphasized that fostering social accountability requires active engagement from all sectors, particularly transparency, inclusiveness, and peaceful coexistence as the country prepares for the next general elections. Issa Bangura, AYV News, Freetown.
The country's Chief Minister, David Molina Senge, has met with moral guarantors on the agreement of national unity led by former Vice President of Gambia, His Excellency Fatoumata Tambajang and team. The Chief Minister utilized the moment to update the moral guarantors on the implementation of tripartite committee's report and ongoing progress. Let's take the highlights.
Due respect and with data and facts to back this up. We have done 100% of the agreements for national unity. Resolution 1 of the agreement for national unity, and I will read verbatim, said His Excellency the President to make a national address on dialogue, unity, cohesion and peace. His Excellency has done this dozens of times. He had done it immediately after this agreement was signed. Resolution 2 says that ABC would end its non-participation in governance. That was done. Resolution 3 says His Excellency, in consultation with the APC, will constitute a cross-party committee on electoral systems and management bodies with three-way leadership nominated by the government, the APC, and development partners. Full stop. That was done, and the resident coordinator was the co-chair. Dr. Gaima here was the co-chair, and Dr. Kefala Mara was the co-chair. Second sentence in 3. This body will examine the electoral system, structures, and processes of the 2023 multi-tier electoral cycle. That was done. And 3C, the recommendations from the committee shall be actionable and implementable. All 80 recommendations were actionable and made and implementable. Many of them, as I'll update later on, have been implemented or are being implemented.
Furthermore, the leadership of the All People's Congress Party has engaged the international moral guardians at the party's headquarters in Freetown. During the meeting, the APC stalwart made a strong statement in support of meaningful electoral reforms and enhanced transparency in the country's democratic progress. They also outlined concerns surrounding the agreement of national unity and implementation of the tripartite committee's recommendations, particularly on the appointment of the country's chief electoral commissioner, among others. In another story, the government of Sierra Leone has officially announced plans to revive Sierratel, bringing renewed hope to workers and stakeholders in the telecommunications sector. The official announcement was made by the Minister of Innovation, Communication and Technology, Salima Ba, who confirmed that government has secured a private sector partner to invest and relaunch the company, aiming at restoring operations and address workers' outstanding entitlements. Suzannette Bassi has more.
The atmosphere was filled with excitement, hope, and a sense of restoration among staff and retirees of Sierratel as the Minister of Innovation, Communications and Technology, Salima Ba, confirmed that Cabinet has approved an agreement with a private investor to relaunch Sierratel before the end of the month under a new operational framework. She disclosed that total staff liabilities owed to workers stand at approximately $6.3 million, covering unpaid salaries, leave allowances, end of service benefits, and other entitlements accumulated over several years.
Priority, maintain the name.
Our plan is to relaunch Sierratel by maintaining its name and position in the telecommunication industry. A key priority in this process is staff welfare. There will be no agreement without addressing workers' issues. That is a non-negotiable condition. We have calculated all outstanding liabilities, including salaries, allowances, and union dues, among others. The total amount is approximately $6.3 million.
She added that all payments will undergo a strict verification process to ensure accuracy, transparency, and accountability. Speaking at the same event, the Minister of Employment, Labour and Social Security, Mohamed Rahman Soare, described the development as both encouraging and emotional, noting that the challenges of Sierratel have followed him like a shadow throughout his public service career.
Would I not say His Excellency President Bio gets one of the 5 big game changers.
Under President Bio's leadership, digital transformation and human capital development are key priorities. So today, I am pleased to announce that government has taken a major decision to reposition Sierratel. We are working to restore it so that it can play a strong role in Sierra Leone's telecommunications sector.
Reposition Sierratel for continue to play a strategic role in the market.
Many staff say they have endured delayed salaries, financial difficulties, and uncertainty about their future. The studies of Sierratel also expressed relief over the government's intervention, but remain hopeful that the promises will be fully implemented. Some said they have waited several years without receiving their full benefits, including pensions and end-of-service payments. The planned relaunch of Sierratel marks a critical turning point for both the institution and its workforce, signaling the end of years of uncertainty and financial distress. With cabinet approval of a new public-private partnership, attention now shifts to implementation, transparency, and the timely delivery of long-awaited staff payments. Suzanette Bassi, AYV News, Freetown.
The Chief Education Officer, Ministry of Basic and Senior Secondary Education, Edward Mustafa Parker, has outlined strict penalties for defaulters of the ban on school camping for public examinations. He noted any private school found violating the directive will have its license withdrawn, while principals of government and government-assisted schools will also face sanctions. He made this known to our education reporter, George Bartilo Powell.
The government of Sierra Leone, through the Ministry of Basic and Senior Secondary Education, has announced a nationwide ban on the camping of school-going pupils for public examinations, citing concerns over the integrity of the education system. Well, AYV is here at the Ministry's office in New Englandville to speak with the Chief Education Officer on the rationale behind this directive. So why placing a ban on school camping?
Parents have usually mentioned to us that schools coerce them to contribute to this campaign. First of all, you will observe that during this campaign, some school authorities claim that if you don't go for campaign, you're likely to be successful in the exams. And within these campaigns, you can also tell that they provide false information on exam content, which may not be appropriate. And it increases the tendency of exam malpractice. You'll also note that within this campaign, some inappropriate behaviors are conducted. For example, you will discover that there is a possibility of sexual abuse. There is also a possibility of drug use and several social or unacceptable behaviors.
A parent, speaking on behalf of his child, highlighted some of the challenges experienced during school camping, noting concerns around welfare, safety, and the overall well-being of pupils.
One of the complaints is that they waste a lot of time in discussion. You know, for me, my daughter, when she was in the camping system, she's that kind of person that is studious and focused on her studies. But you know, a lot of distraction normally comes in the camping because most times when kids are together, they discuss things that are irrelevant to their exams. As a parent, when I have my kids at home, I know the kind of training and the kind of guidance I give to them, even in terms of topics they discuss. But when they go to these camps, they do expose themselves to other topics that I don't want them to be part of. So these are some of the challenges we face with the camping system. So it's better they study from home. During the day, they can have their extra classes, their discussion groups and other things, but at night, it's better for them to be at home to be safe.
Sylvester Mew, chairman of the Association of Retired Principals of Secondary Schools, shared his experience on the issue. While supporting the ban, he also proposed alternative measures that could better support candidates preparing for public examinations.
Well, I'm in support of government. The reason being, compulsory camping, which is not free, they are depriving other pupils of that opportunity of learning. If it is free, then it is okay. The decision is well in place. It is there to protect the pupils and those who are underprivileged, whose parents cannot afford, and at the same time, it's going to strengthen the examination results we are going to have. Well, the parents have alternative for their children, extra lessons for pupils, which is not compulsory, and many of these lessons, they go all out to ensure that they have good teachers in various subject areas to assist the pupils so that they will perform well.
Responding to concerns about compliance, the Chief Education Officer addressed the issue of enforcement and outlined possible penalties for schools or individuals who may violate the directive.
Well, at the moment, for private schools, we can withdraw their license. For government assisted schools, we can penalize the principals for violating the ban.
For pupils sitting public examination was reached through a joint agreement involving the Ministry of Basic and Senior Secondary Education, the Conference of Principals of Secondary Schools, the National Council of Head Teachers, the National Union of Private Schools, and the Association of Independent Schools. George Batilo Powell, AYV News, Freetown.
Now for court updates. A prominent Sierra Leonean entertainer and political activist, Zab Sharif, has been sentenced to 4 years in prison, having found guilty of incitement and threatening language. Let's hear more from our court reporter, Ibrahim Ramadan Jallo.
Forget the justice they deserve. There's so many politicians, so many people that want to talk to. They can't Sabel,
Prominent Sierra Leonean entertainer, model, and political activist, Zab Sharif has been sentenced to 4 years imprisonment after being found guilty of public order offenses. The ruling was delivered at Pademba Court No. 1 in Freetown by Principal Magistrate Mustafa Bremaja. During her 9th court appearance, Sharif was convicted on 2-count charges, incitement and threatening language, both contrary to the Public Order Act 1965. The court imposed a 4-year sentence for incitement and 2 months for threatening language. Sharif, who is the chairperson for the We Duty movement and a known supporter for the All People's Congress, was arrested in February 2026 following remarks she made at a political rally held at Brema Atuga Mini Stadium on the 31st of January 2026. Prosecutors told the court that she made statements suggesting that individuals involved in election rigging should be killed, and also used language directed at the president that was considered threatening. The prosecution supported its case with video footage, transcriptions, and forensic evidence obtained from her device. Throughout the trial, Sharif maintained her innocence, stating that her remarks were political and aimed at discouraging electoral malpractice, not citing violence. She delivered an unsworn statement from the dock and declined cross-examination. Her defense team had earlier filed a no-case submission, citing insufficient evidence, but this was dismissed by the magistrate, who ruled that a prima facie case has been established. The judgment is seen as a significant moment in Sierra Leone's legal and political landscape, sparking renewed debates on free speech, political expression, and the limit of public discourse. The case ends.
This is Primetime News on AYV Television and Radio. Stay tuned for more stories after the break.
Do you know you can transfer money
buy airtime, and pay all your utility bills in just a minute? You can have access to your account anytime, anywhere. Welcome to the world of fast and easy. GT Wall. With the GT Wall, you can transfer money from one GT Co account to another, pay utility bills, get account statements, get airtime, and check your balance. With GT Wall, you can buy Exa anytime, anywhere. You can go to App Store or Play Store on your iPhone and Android devices, download the app, and enjoy. GT Co. Wouldn't you rather bank with us?
Mutik. This one is for the bold ones. The people who shape their world and the winners who still put in the work. Cheers to those who start great things. When you start, you're hard to stop. You raise your game and never back down because you're bold enough to make it. To you I say, never stop. Mutik, never stop starting.
Welcome back. I am Hannah Yankson, and this is AYV's Primetime News. Thank you for joining us tonight. Let's take more stories. An Indian-owned company in Sierra Leone, Jetty Trading Company, has expressed deep sympathy over the fire damage at the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation, calling on other Indian business stakeholders to contribute towards rebuilding the facility. Ibrahim Ramadan Jallo has more.
One of Sierra Leone's prominent business establishments, Jetty Trading Company, has paid a solidarity visit to the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation following a fire outbreak that severely damaged part of its facilities, including the office of Deputy Director General Mohamed Asmi Uba. CEO of Jetty Trading Company, Mohinder B. Singh, expressed deep sympathy over the damage.
So we can only pray to Almighty, let help you, let give you more strength again. Amen. And do all in again independent way, the way you are doing. Mr. Ban, I'm a friend. We meet him in UK, in Ahmadiyya. We was together. So I just bring this one.
For the Jaza.
Yeah.
You are.
I'm not an Ahmadiyya, but I'm a friendly with everybody.
Okay. No, I thought you were.
No.
Okay.
So I just bring this small token, and I appeal to my other Indian peoples, my Indian business community, let them come forward to help, to let you start it quick again, fast, and repair whatever is balanced. So this is the thing I come here. Thank you.
So, I don't like to get emotional, but thank you very much. Have a seat, sir.
Thank you.
Receiving the delegation, SLBC Director General Josephine Fatmata Kamara said the fire comes at a difficult time as the corporation continues its ongoing renovation.
On behalf of the board members, management, and the entire staff, we say SLBC is the people's broadcaster. When it was SLBS, they used to call it government. But during the transition from the UN, when the UN was handing over everything back to Sierra Leone,
Deputy Director General Asmi Uba reinforced the appeal for more assistance to restore the damaged infrastructure.
Prior to the office, I saw on the Facebook, but I can't do what I can bring a small thing for now. You can just make a renovation. Wow. It's from a personal side. But even I appeal to my all other Indians, my Indian merchandise, let them come forward and help SLBC. Sure. Because it's a great media and doing well for everybody.
doing straightforward for Mr. Ba. Even in my personal friend, when I come, I bring Mr. Ba with me, my own media man.
The fire was described by management as a serious incident, though swift action by staff and emergency service helped prevent it from escalating into a large disaster.
As Sierra Leone still struggles with zero hunger and food sufficiency, it seems steps have been initiated towards modernizing agricultural trade systems with the launch of a digital solution aimed at improving the efficiency, transparency, and safety of plant product exports. Edima Conte reports.
Agriculture remains a cornerstone of Sierra Leone's economy, contributing significantly to national GDP and employing a large portion of the population, while key exports such as cocoa, palm oil, cashew, and coffee drive in foreign exchange earnings. Ensuring smooth and secure trade processes is critical. To strengthen this, the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security has officially launched the FITO initiative, a digital phytosanitary certification system designed to replace the country's current paper-based process. Speaking at the launch, the project manager from the Global Alliance for Trade Facilitation highlighted that the initiative would digitally connect Sierra Leone to international trading partners, making export processes more efficient and reliable.
The FITO project will be about digitalizing the phytosanitary certification processes, because the processes currently are fully paper-based, which is prone to errors, fraud to the certificates, and it's also digitalizing and connecting Sierra Leone to the international hub will allow Sierra Leone exporters to access international markets.
Meanwhile, the Deputy Minister of Agriculture emphasized that successful implementation of the project will boost the country's agricultural competitiveness, reduce trade barriers, and ultimately benefit farmers and consumers alike.
The successful implementation of e-phytosanitary will bring immense benefit to Sierra Leone. It will reduce delays and costs associated with trade, minimize the risk of fraud, and ensure compliance with international standards. More importantly, it will open new market opportunities for our farmers and agribusinesses, contributing to economic growth, food security, employment for the youth, and national development.
The FITO system is expected to not only streamline export procedures, but also strengthen biosecurity measures, ensuring that plant products traded across borders are safe and disease-free. Edima Conte, AYV News, Freetown.
During an assembly held at the Milton Magai Technical University's Goderich campus, James French, the president of the Federal Student Union government, has condemned the move to suspend the vice-chancellor and principal of the university. Yero Jallo reports.
A meeting was held by the Federal Students' Union government of the Milton Magai Technical University to address pressing academic welfare and governance issues, with strong concern centered on a letter circulating in social media on the alleged interim suspension of the Vice-Chancellor. The meeting held under the Office of the Director of Academic Affairs in collaboration with the Senior Warden of Students aimed to update students on key institutional matters. James French, President, Federal Students' Union Government, emphasized student leadership remains committed to addressing welfare concerns and ensuring that student voices are heard. He further questioned the legality and procedural correctness of the interim suspension letter issued by the Chancellor. He called for full clarification from the Governing Council.
The Student Senior Government questioned the legality and procedural validity of this suspension decision that was done by the court. Views the action as potential breach of the governance provision of the University Act No. 5 of 2021. Warns against any form of external interference of politicization of university affairs. We as Student Senior Government will therefore call for immediate clarification from the university courts on whether this decision was duly deliberated and approved behind closed doors? If so, why closed doors and why students are not represented? Also, a review of the suspension process ensures full compliance with Section 15 and 7 of the Act. We, the student union government, strictly adhere to due process, transparency, and institutional autonomy. We also came and crave for protection of the university reputation from action that may undermine public confidence. Now, all of us are seeing the letter that circulates on social media. We also want to allow the proper authority of the university court, who is responsible to communicate decision of the court, to do her job. So, as we, the student union body, and the voice of the collective of students on this institution, we remain committed to safeguard the integrity, stability, and reputation of the Mitimagai Technical University.
John Bibson Kaimasa, Governor of the Federal Students' Union Government, Godrich Campus, asserts how this will affect the teaching, learning, and overall academic environment.
We want to know on which grounds. If it is legal, how long is it going to take? Because we are suffering. Sure. We are suffering, sure. To be candid. And this time that is going, they are not going to replace it. When there is time for examination, they will go strictly by the calendar without lecturing. Sure. That's our concern.
While students have the rights to demand accountability and transparent leadership procedures, they demand such action must be taken through lawful and peaceful engagement rather than misinformation and speculation. As political interference continues to ravage the academic excellence of the university, the situation continues. Students await court's conclusion on the said matter. Yero Jalo, AYV News.
That's all for Primetime News tonight. For more stories, visit our website at www.ayvnews.com. If you have any comments on the news, please send us an email to info@ayvnews.com. I am Hannah Yangson. Many thanks for watching and listening. Good night.
You're watching AYV Television.
My name is Genova J. Bangora, Commissioner General of the National Revenue Authority, and I am honored to extend a warm welcome to all our regional and international partners as Sierra Leone prepares to host one of the most important gatherings on our calendar, the WATA 2025 High-Level Policy Dialogue on Financing Development through Effective Fact Systems, and the 21st General Assembly, which will be held from the 15th to the 19th of September 2025. At the National Revenue Authority of Sierra Leone, we are proud to host these events because we believe that effective tax systems are the cornerstones of nation building. We are committed to delivering a world-class event, one that promotes knowledge sharing, inspires reforms, and strengthens partnerships. On behalf of the government of Sierra Leone, the board of directors, and the entire NRA family, I invite you to join us in Freetown this September. Let's work together to shape a tax future that truly supports the development aspiration of West Africa. Welcome to WATA 2025. Welcome to Sierra Leone.
Long before roads or rails, before signals filled the sky, there was Rokel, the river that connected us all. This basket bought food, paid school fees, it raised children, and carried dreams. It held the economy in palm and straw. It brings power to our homes, food to our markets, and unity to our journey. This is the rhythm of Sierra Leone, from hand to hand, from shore to shore. But now that rhythm has evolved. Now the basket carries more. RCB SIM Copper, for sending money from any phone. RCB Prepaid, for anyone, no account needed. RCB Copper Card, your local power. RCB Visa, global reach in your wallet. Just like the river, your money can move freely across towns, borders, and time. From the village to the vault, the banker sees it all. One transaction, one river, move seamlessly. This is more than banking. This is Rokel, Commercial Bank, bank of choice.
You should do me like I do you, but never do me no favors. Don't do it, oh baby, no, no. Give it to me, I give it to you, but then I don't want your favors. Just give me your love hand.
Rejoiners, una don ready? On this is Goodies Volume 27, April 27, Independence Day, now Family Kingdom. On this is Goodies, say make I tell una say inside this Volume 27, you get for dance for yourself, not make person dance for you. Because the kind way they don't arrange the DJ there, this one gets for different because it gets in your style and in your pattern. All these goodies, anytime we they come up, we they give una different flavor. And as I've been telling us, say all these goodies get different flavor them. This trip, the one that we enjoy the culture of Sierra Leone. All these goodies be known with Ami Kalon from Kenema. And this year celebration, all these goodies getting for giving the Gumbe and the Agaba, what we call Jolly. We all go Jaye together that next day. Inside that Jaye day, now then you get for see Kabaslots and Kotoku, Bresis, Embo, Bell Bottom, and Middle Tides. It's telling this all these goodies April 27 get for switch past the one day we be non pass. Now yonder you go see old friends and you go make new one. The diaspora demo from the upline to the Freetown city. All man get for Rack Palade. All these goodies can always do and boku enjoyment, small couple. The price not change and it not go up at all. Now 150 million for make you enjoy yourself. Food and drinks go sell for price we go fit your pocket. And the drinks in your side, now really recommended price. Tickets go begin sell from 12 o'clock afternoon. And the show go start from 7 p.m. So I say 7 a.m. in the morning. With all these goodies, volume 27, April 27. So fumble them, see you when we see you.
Thought you loved me. Ooh, yeah.
We find out say most people want to put their money in a bank, but they don't want to make them they pay interest on their money or cut. Now that make we bring Million Islam account. This account will be savings account, no more, no interest, and they not they cut any charges. This na account where you for open for long term. The shortest term where if for day na for 3 months. But you and the relationship officer will talk about that when you go open the account. you can open the account with 50 million. You not pull money come out there till after 3 months when you open now. If you begin pull money there every 3 months, the account they change back to ordinary current account. Anybody, begin, young and old people them can able open this account. We go give you Visa card and we go sign you up for a mobile app. For opening this account, you will need the account form, national ID card or NACID card, any documents where they prove Usa you tap and 2 passport picture. Beyond Islam accounts don't come for allow Muslim them for opening an account in a bank. Sierra Leone Commercial Bank. Delivering value.
SLCB is here with Million Senior Accounts. Are you a senior citizen who receives a NACID pension at the end of the month? Or a senior citizen without a NACID pension? Then Million Senior Accounts is for you. Open a Million Senior Accounts and get a checkbook. Do COT on current accounts and a higher monthly interest rates on savings accounts. A dedicated teller will be there to attend to you. All you need is 50 leons to open both current and savings accounts, plus a NACID card, any other proof of age, proof of address, and 2 passport pictures. Join the family. Sierra Leone Commercial Bank. Delivering value.
We na RC Bank, with Usim Couple, you dey work out with money na your phone all time.
We na RC Bank, of course, now we get the most efficient and convenient internet banking platform na Salon.
Of course, we na the bank of choice. Now we get the best prepaid card na Salon. Come bank with we.
We na Rokel Bank. With a Visa debit card, you can do your transaction any side of the world inside you day.
We na Master Sabipa digital banking business na Salon.
Na RC Bank, now we get the best low interest rates na Salon.
We na Rokel Bank, we ATM they support careless transaction.
We na Rokel Bank, we dey send and receive money through Western Union, MoneyGram and Rare.
We na Rokel Bank. With we e-couple, you can send money to anybody when you get bank accounts with me. Just ask for your telephone number. That's it.
Fambulem, on a eh? We na Rokel Bank. We na Agba Pan banking business na Mama Salon.
اللهم اغفر لهم وارحمهم وعافهم واعف عنهم.
Inna lillahi wa inna lillahi raji'un. In loving memory of Khadija Salmata Kalon, a year old on, Dija a year old by. We whisper a million thank you to the sky. Thank you for having existed. Thank you for loving us and giving all of you. Your legacy will still live on. May Allah grant you Jannatul Firdaus. Amen. From friends. Continue to rest in peace.
حتى يكونوا في بطون الألحاد مطمئنين.
The death is announced of lay Canon Elder Simeon Elijah Oluwole John, formerly of Standard Chartered Bank Limited, Sierra Leone, and of Ebenezer Countess of Huntingdon Church, Lumley, which sad event took place at his residence, 23 Freetown Road, Lumley, on Sunday, the 22nd of March 2026. He was 85 years old. He is survived by his loving wife, Mrs. Alice John, formerly of Mobile Oil Company Limited, Sierra Leone. Children, Simeon Dalton Olabisi in the United States of America and Mrs. Olamide Davis in the United Kingdom. Son-in-law, Mr. Clifford Davis in the United Kingdom. Adopted children, Mariama, Saidu, Adeline and Yenor. Sisters, Madam Princess John, Joycey and Esther John. Grandchildren, Tabitha, Dalton, Janaya, Simeon, Demetrius, Sekan, Sianan, Javian, all in the United States, Evian and Elon in the United Kingdom. several nieces and nephews, cousins and in-laws at home and abroad, the bishop and clergy officers and members of the Ebenezer Countess of Huntingdon Church, Lumley. Other relatives include the John, Macaulay, Scott and Brown families of Lumley and Wilberforce, the George family of Cole Street, Moreton, the Jones family in the United States of America, the Taylor, Olu, Pete,